Hello all you people out there in TV land. My name is CB Studios, also known as Kurt, and today I'm coming back to you with another Ghostface. I'm doing another Ghostface video for you guys. Because why not? Absolutely why not? You guys are into it. I'm into it. Everybody's really excited. There's all this news about SCRE4M coming out, which is great. Everybody's hyped for the new masks. Some amazing craftsmen have been doing versions of the aged masks from SCRE6, and I figured that was a great thing to talk about. The aged masks. Now, if you've been into collecting SCRE stuff for a long time, this isn't going to be news to you. But a lot of people have not seen these before, as they're not as common as they used to be. And the ones that we're talking about today are obviously the OG aged masks, the SCRE4 era zombie masks. In the SCRE4 era, we got a couple of new variants of masks. We got our classic EU mold mask that was used in the films. There's the TD mold, which had been around for a while, same as the EU. But we did get two brand new styles of masks. What we got was the SCRE4 Scarecrow mask. This nice burlap covered mask. Now this one is a custom, but I do have another video on the Scarecrows further on in my channel. And we got the Zombies, which is an EU style of mold. It's not directly an EU, I don't believe, but it's really similar in shape. And it's this gorgeous, aged, rotted looking zombie. And at the time, I'm fairly certain the idea came from the Rob Zombie Halloween version of Michael Myers, where he has very, very similar aging on him. And so these are my collection of zombies, or at least some of them, and I figured that I'd give you guys a look and we could discuss them. So I'm fairly certain this sculpt actually came out at the very end of 2010, and it was originally designed to be seen in SCRE4 along with the Scarecrow, but any of those scenes were cut. I think there's only a fleeting glance in the movie where you can kind of see that it may be a zombie on somebody's head in the Stabathon scenes. Stabathon scenes? Yeah. They were released for SCRE4 as part of the SCRE4 line, hence the SCRE4 tag, which you'll see on this one here. So, what are all these mask variants here? Well, I'm gonna tell you. For the zombie masks, they did bring out just your standard polyester shroud, which is the really nice poly shrouds, very classic look. This one here is a 2017. This is one of the Australian ones from Mr. Toys Toy World. If you are hunting EUs, you've probably seen a couple of them floating around with these stickers on. So this type of mask was around for quite a long time. It started being produced at the end of 2010, and these were running all the way up until 2020. I believe 2019 is the only year that we didn't see any pop up, but I'm not 100% sure. And they've started making these again more recently. And honestly, they do bear quite a nice passing resemblance to the weathered masks from SCRE6. They look really, really cool. The paint jobs do vary, and there are two specific molds as well. Under the chin, where you would normally find your Easter Unlimited stamps, these ones have a really, you've really got to look for it. There's a really faint Easter Unlimited carving in there, and I'll try and show you in photos at the end. There's a copyright symbol. And then there's what we would call a deep stamp EU. And these ones I found, I'll throw some pictures in now. I actually found some in 2020, and I've since sold them off. They were a really weird blue-gray, as opposed to this light sort of gray finish. And they were a deep stamp EU. Now, as I said, the paint jobs and finishes do vary from mask to mask, production run to production run, and even down factory to factory. You'll find a whole lot of different variants. This really dark one here is actually, it originally started life very similar to this one, but I've done some extra weathering and aging to it because I wanted it to look much darker. I really like this look. They came out in the bib style of masks. As you can see, whenever you hear me talking about a bib style mask, this is what I mean. It has no shroud over the top, it's just got a bib that hangs down, much like you'd put on an infant, or if you're a fat shit eating a bunch of wings at Buffalo Wild Wings, like me. We don't have Buffalo Wild Wings here, I just thought that'd be really funny to say, so have a freebie. This is the bib style. It's basically just an elastic band holding it onto your head. And these are sold with the costume sets, so any costumes that come with a full robe and then the mask, they will have these style masks in them, always. Except if you get the Scarecrow masks, where they do have a full shroud. And I believe one of the Dead by Daylight ones does have a full shroud with it. I do not remember which one though. I know for a fact it's not the devil faces, and I know for a fact, because I own one, that it's not the viper face, because this was a bib style that came from a viper face cosplay. So you will find these ones around. They're not overly common anymore, and they did do a deluxe version of this, which was the same bib style mask, but the fabric around the bib was actually made out of this stuff, the collector's edition fabric. Now these sort of masks are much harder to find, and this is the 2011 collector's edition style mask. Now these have a much bigger hood, a dwarf style hood, and it's this really light cheesecloth sort of fabric. I've actually done a whole video on this one, and also my Glow Ultra White style collector's edition, that's further on the channel. I'll have links to a couple of videos at the end of this, so definitely go and check them out. But these ones, typically the zombie style, I've only ever seen the one of them in person, so I don't know. But the zombie style is what we'd call a hard mold. And it's a slightly different mold around the face. It's got a different mold line along the chin. And it's really rigid, like stiff, which is cool. And I picked this one up off eBay, honestly, nearly 10 years ago now. It does have a replica tag on the top, which is why the tag doesn't say zombie. And these hoods are notorious for tearing and shredding. It's very soft fabric. I do have a video coming out sometime soon of me reshrouding a ultra white glow-in-the-dark style collector's edition where the hood was actually cut really short. That'll be a fun video because I found a really good match for the fabric, so that'll be a fun one. So really, these masks are, I would say that this mask is fairly close to what we're going to get production-wise and quality-wise for the Scream 6 mask, the age mask that Funworld is coming out with. They are supposed to be hitting the market later on this year, around September, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know who's stocking them, I don't know when they're coming out, I don't know how much they're going to cost, and I don't know where you can pre-order them from. I don't know how they're going to look. I assume they're going to look really cool. I'm going to throw in a picture now of this new style of mask so you can see. And this is Frank McGovern, who is actually the sculptor for the zombie mask as well, way back in the day. He works for Funworld, does absolutely phenomenal work. Big shout out to Frank, but he shared this image of the final production prototype, and they look really cool. Really, if you are looking to do a Scream 6 Ghostface anytime before the end of this year, you could totally go with one of these ones and you'd look great. You can still find zombies around, they're fairly common, and there are some websites that are still selling them. In fact, if you're in Australia, I'm fairly certain costumebox.com.au does currently have some in stock. I'll check, and my little ticker box down the bottom will tell us whether I was a liar or not, so that's fun. Ultimately, these masks are really fun. They've got a lot of intricacies to the design. In fact, they've still got most of a sculpted eye, like a flat section of the eye, still in this mask, which is really cool. They're a really nice, little bit gnarly look, and if you don't like the stark, clean white look of an EU, these look fantastic. They're a great option if you want to do the aged look from Scream 6 without having to buy another mask, or without having to wait until the new ones come out, or without going the extra mile and custom carving in all of that age detail and doing a fantastic paint job like some members of the community have done. But for the moment, these guys take pride of place in my collection. I always love the zombies, and I figured that you guys might like to have a look at them. Thanks very much for checking out this video, guys. It's just a nice, quick little look at a really cool mold of mask. I think these are great. I think they always look really fun, and I try to pick them up whenever I can. Have a look on eBay if you're looking to buy some, or you can find them in the groups on Facebook. Don't send me a message asking me to buy any of these, because they're all mine, and I don't want to give them up. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, I've got a bunch more Ghostface videos that you can watch. There's a whole lot of dumb shit on this channel. It's really fun. At least I think it's fun. If you have any questions, shoot them down in the comments. And until next time, guys, I'll see you at the Stabathon.